Merci.
Thank you.
Merci, c'est un grand honneur pour moi.
Thank you. It is a great honor for me, for Ukraine, and for our people.
Mesdames et messieurs les sénateurs,
Ladies and gentlemen, senators, members of parliament, elected officials from Paris, the city of Paris, and the people of France, I am grateful for this honor to speak to you today. I am sure that you are well aware of what is happening in Ukraine. You know why it is happening, and you know who is guilty. And even those who prefer to hide their heads in the sand, even those who are trying to get money out of Ukraine, cannot deny what is happening. I am addressing you. You are rational, honest people, and I'd like to ask you a question. How can we stop this war? How can we bring about peace in Ukraine? Because most of the answers are in your hands, in our hands collectively. On the 9th of March, Russian bombs fell on the pediatric hospital and the maternity hospital in a quiet city in southern Ukraine, quiet until the Russian forces invaded. It is now in a brutal siege, as if it were the Middle Ages. They have begun to kill people. They've killed people in the maternity hospital. There were women who were about to give birth. Many of them survived, but many were seriously wounded. One woman had her foot amputated. Another woman had a fractured pelvis, and her infant died at birth. Some women were asking for the doctors to let them die because they couldn't see why it would be worth to stay alive. There was the case of a woman who died with these regretful words on her lips. I think that around Europe, many people find it hard to believe that a whole world could be destroyed in this way. So I'd like to ask for a minute of silence for the thousands of Ukrainian men and women and children who have been killed following the Russian invasion.
Merci.
Thank you. Weeks after the beginning of the Russian invasion, Mariupol, and other Ukrainian cities now look like the ruins at Verdun after the battle held there in the First World War. I think all of you are well aware of these images. The Russian army makes no distinction between different types of targets. They hit residential districts, hospitals, schools. They burn down warehouses full of food and medicine. They don't take any account of war crimes. They have brought terror to the Ukrainian land. You have all of the information. You know what the facts are with regard to women who have been raped by Russian soldiers in the occupied areas. Refugees killed on the road. Journalists have been targeted and killed. We're talking about people who survived the Holocaust and now must flee or hide in bomb shelters. Europe has not seen anything like this for decades. People are in despair. Some of them are begging to die. In 2019, when I became president, we had a negotiation format. It was the Normandy format. It was to bring about an end to the conflict in the Donbass, in the east of Ukraine. This has been going on for 8 years, unfortunately. 4 states participated in the Normandy format: Germany, France, Russia, and Ukraine. We studied all the different positions. Some tried to delay the process. But it seemed important that we continue to negotiate nonetheless, despite the fact that Russia was dragging its feet. When we did get some results, when we were able to free prisoners who had been taken captive, when we were able to negotiate some outcomes in 2019, it was like a big bowl of oxygen. It was a ray of hope for us. We thought that the leaders of Russia could be persuaded by diplomacy to choose peace. But on the 24th of February, we saw what Russia was really prepared to do. The very concept of dialogue was completely ignored. Russian missiles, Russian artillery, Russian shells began raining down on Ukraine. It is important to look for the truth, and we find the truth in the battlefield. What is left to us? Our values, unity, our determination to defend our freedom, to defend our joint liberty. This is true in Paris, in Kyiv, in Warsaw, in Berlin, in Rome, in Brussels, in Bratislava, everywhere. But we need more than just oxygen. We need to act together. We need to put pressure on Russia together to force them to seek peace. Ladies and gentlemen, of people of France, on the 24th of February, the Ukrainian people unified. We are no longer on the right or on the left. We are together. We are no longer the majority and the minority. We are all working for peace. We want to protect our country. We are grateful to France for their help. We are grateful for all the efforts deployed by President Macron and his constant communication efforts. The Ukrainians have seen that France is also thirsty for truth and wants to protect it. You speak of liberté, égalité, fraternité. Each of those words is very important to you. And Ukrainians believe in this too. And we are expecting that your leadership will help encourage Russia to seek peace, to put an end to this war against liberty, equality, and brotherhood. Everything that has brought Europe together as a united Europe and a free Europe, a diversified Europe. We are waiting for France's leadership for the restoration of Ukraine's territorial integrity. We can do this together. And if any of you have any doubts, I can tell you that your people do not have any doubts, nor do any of the other peoples of Europe. And during the French presidency of the EU, I think that a well-thought-out decision will be made with regard to the EU and Ukraine. It will be a historic decision France has always been present at great moments of history in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, people of France, tomorrow it will be 1 month since the Ukrainians have been fighting for their life and their freedom. We've been fighting heroically against the superior forces of Russia. We need more help. We need more support so that we don't lose our freedom. We need weapons to fight against tanks. We need air defense in order to keep our liberty alive. We need these arms, and we need stronger sanctions. French companies should leave the Russian marketplace. Renault, Leroy Merlin, Auchan, and others have left. These companies must stop sponsoring the murder of innocent women and children. Everyone should remember that values are more important than profits. Humans are more important than profits. And as we look towards the future and how we will live after the war, we need guarantees for our security. We need securities that wars will no longer be possible in this world. We need to create a new system of security and guarantees where France will have a leading role so that no one will ever again have to cry over fallen women and children and refugees, so that everyone can live their lives not under the rain of bombs and shells, but in peace, in dignity, because we must live and be respected. And I say goodbye the way that Belmondo used to say goodbye. Ciao.